Welcome to the Swain Arts Center for our 2018 Swain County Schools Faculty Showcase. We are so fortunate to have such a wonderful group of dedicated faculty and staff here at Swain County Schools. They invest their life in building relationships with our students and helping them identify and find out what their special talents and skills and gifts are, and then find a way to express those. But so often, those same folks don't have an opportunity to express their own special gifts and talents and abilities. So that's why we're doing the showcase. We did it last year the first time. It was very well received. It was a really fun and successful evening. So I think this is on its way to becoming an established tradition here at Swain County Schools. So welcome, and you're in for a treat. I want to introduce our first performer tonight. Rachel Yates is a native here of Bryson City. She teaches chorus, vocal ensemble, and drama at both Swain Middle School and Swain County High School. So in addition to all of her other talents, this year she's gotten the ability to zoom from the middle school to the high school and eat lunch very quickly and be ready for another class. So she has been at Swain County Schools for 3 years, but she's no stranger here. Rachel is a native of Bryson City, graduated from Swain County High School. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in Music at Queen's University, and then went on to get her Master's of Arts in Teaching at Lenore-Ryan University. Rachel credits her mother with instilling in her both a love for music and art and the confidence to pursue it. And her mentors, Jay Gilbert, who is a beloved chorus and vocal ensemble drama teacher here for many years, John Taglerini, and Martha Brown. So join me as we welcome Rachel in singing Taylor the Latte Boy.
Rachel, can I put the mic? There's a boy who works at Starbucks who is very inspirational. He is very inspirational because of many things. I come in at 8:11 and he smiles and says, "How are you?" When he smiles and says, "How are you?" I could swear my heart grows wings. So today at 8:11, I decided I should meet him. I decided I should meet him in a proper, formal way. So today at 8:11, when he smiles and says, "How are you?" I said, "Fine, my name's Rachel." And he softly answered, "Hey." I said, "Fine, my name's Rachel, and thank you for the extra phone." And he said his name was Taylor, which provides the inspiration for this poem. Taylor, the latte boy, bring me Java, bring me joy. Oh, Taylor, the latte boy, I love him, I love him, I love him. And I'd like to get the nerve up to recite this poem musical. He would like the fact it's musical because he plays guitar. So today at 8:11, Taylor told me he was playing with his band down in the village in the basement of a bar. And he smoothly flipped the lever to prepare my double latte. But for me he made it triple, and he didn't think I knew. But I saw him flip the lever, and for me he made it triple. And I knew that triple latte meant that Taylor loved me too. I said, "What time are you playing? And thank you for the extra skim." He said, "Keep the 355 because that triple latte was on him." Taylor, the latte boy, bring me joy. bring me Java, bring me joy. Oh, Taylor, the latte boy. I love him, I love him, I love him. So many years my heart has waited. Who would have thought that love would be so caffeinated? Taylor, the latte boy. I love him, I love him, I love him. I love him, I love him, I love him.
Kim and Serena Holt. Kim and Serena live with their family in Silver, North Carolina. Kim has been an exceptional children's teacher here at Swain County Schools for 20 years. She earned her Bachelor of Science degree at the University of Wisconsin. Now, Kim comes from a family of artists. Her grandmother, get this, performed in vaudeville. Not many of us can say that about our grandmothers. Her father played a variety of stringed instruments, and Kim got interested in drama in 4-H when she was in high school. So she's always loved art in all of its forms. Serena, her daughter, is a 2016 graduate of Swain County Schools. She's currently a sophomore at Western Carolina University, majoring in soil and water conservation. Kim, her mother, influenced her to try dance and enjoy that, and now they enjoy dancing together. So join me as we welcome them performing a number called The House of Cards, which is a steampunk fusion dance. Welcome to Kim and Serena Holt. number they did for a Halloween show. So Kim said, don't worry, she just dies on stage, yeah. Our next performer tonight is Rachel Lewis, and you may have noticed there's a prerequisite for working with music or art, and that's that your first name be Rachel. We have Rachel Lackey, Rachel Yates, Rachel Lewis, so there was no name Rachel when I was growing up except me, so I'm glad to have some good company. Rachel Lewis lives with her family in Silva. She's been an elementary music teacher at Swain County Schools for 12 years. She earned her bachelor's degree at Western Carolina University and then a master's in music performance at the University of Louisiana in Lafayette. Rachel says that her father influenced her to pursue music. So we welcome Rachel as she performs Frédéric Chopin's Ballad in G minor. Welcome to Rachel. I just have to say, not only is it impressive that she could play that, but working full-time, being a mother of 3 children, and to memorize 10 minutes, we got to say, bravo, bravo. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I want to take a moment to recognize our visual artist. Colin, would you bring the lights up in the house for just a moment? I haven't told these folks we're going to do this, but I'm going to ask them to stand. Dora May, who is the art teacher here at the high school, if you'll please stand. She has some mixed media, applique, ink drawings, a lot of things. So Dora, thank you. Curtis Sykes was not able to be here tonight. He's a language arts teacher at Swain Middle School. He has some works out there. Derek Edding. Is Derek? Yes. Derek teaches carpentry here at the high school and has some beautiful furniture out there. You look forward to seeing that. Joe Holt from the quite talented Holt family is not able to be here today. He had to video a basketball game that got rescheduled from some of the snow, but he's got some leather tooling out there and also a costume that he's made. Angie Gunner, it's like his Betty in the back. Angie is a Native American tutor at Swain Middle School, also teaches Cherokee language here at Swain County High School. She does some beautiful photography and river cane mats, so you'll look forward to seeing those out there. Kim Holt, again, from the talented Holt family, some textiles and also costume design and some basket weaving. And finally, Rachel Lewis, who not only plays but paints, has some paintings out there, so thank you. And we have a special treat. I don't know if you noticed that spread coming in tonight. Sonia Blankenship at the beginning of the school year when we were talking about doing this showcase, she said, well, I'd like to share my talent. I would be happy to do the reception. So it is a spread that's going to be pleasing to the eye as well as the palate. We will enjoy that afterwards. So thank you to our culinary and visual artists who have contributed tonight. We welcome back Rachel Yates, who will be singing When He Sees Me from Waitress the Musical.
I deal with real things, usually facts and figures. When information's in its place, I minimize the guessing game. Guess what? I don't like guessing games or when I feel things before I know the feelings. How am I supposed to operate if I'm just tossed around by fate? Like on an unexpected date with a stranger who might talk too fast or ask me questions about myself before I've decided that he can ask me questions about myself. He might sit too close or call the waiter by his first name or eat Oreos, but eat the cookie before the cream. But what scares me the most, what scares me the most is what if when he sees me, what if he doesn't like it, what if he runs the other way and I can't hide from it? What happens then if when he knows me, he's only disappointed? What if I give myself away to only get it given back? I couldn't live with that. So I'm just fine inside my shell-shaped mind. That way I get the best view. So that when he sees me, I want him to. I'm not defensive, I'm simply being cautious. I can't risk reckless dating due to my miscalculating while a certain suitor stands in line. I've seen the movies, most made for television. You cannot be too careful when it comes to sharing your life. I could end up a miserable wife. He could be criminal, some sort of psychopath who escaped from an institution somewhere where they don't have girls. He could have masterminded some way to find me. He could be colorblind. How untrustworthy is that? He could be less than kind. Or even worse, he could be very nice, have lovely eyes, and make me laugh, come out of hiding. What do I do with that? Oh God, what if when he sees me, I like him and he knows it? What if he opens up a door and I can't close it? What happens then if when he holds me, my heart is set in motion? I'm not prepared for that. I'm scared of breaking open. Still I can't keep from hoping to find someone to talk to who likes the way I am. Someone who, when he sees me, wants to again.
Rachel Lewis, I haven't mentioned this to you yet, but Rachel Yates and I were just saying that we needed to do something with the three Rachels, kind of like the three tenors or something. So look forward to that next year. Don't know what it'll be, but the three Rachels. How could it be wrong? Ben Cutler was raised in Ela, but he considers Bryson City to be his hometown. He has been an English and creative writing teacher here at Swain County High School for 6 years. His love affair with poetry began early in his college career when he was introduced to the work of Walt Whitman. Ben began writing poetry in earnest about 3 years ago. He was accepted to the North Carolina Poetry Society's 2017 Gilbert Chapel Distinguished Poet Series, and his poems have appeared in the Cider Press Review, the Wild Goose Poetry Review, the Cold Mountain Review, and the Carolina Quarterly. So we look forward to hear Ben Cutler read 3 of his poems. Welcome, Ben.
Not being named Rachel and for turning down the energy a little bit. I've got 3 poems for you this evening. I thought since this is a talent show, my first poem should be about an area in which I have no talent whatsoever, which would be auto mechanics, any kind of mechanics at all, really. So I'm always very grateful for people who do have talent in that area, such as my brother, who can help me when I'm in a bind. And when I watch people do this kind of work, when I have that kind of opportunity, it always seems like some kind of magic to me. So this first poem is titled, "My Brother and His Friend Paused from Their Work to Raise My Mower from the Dead." It was a broken child, silent and small, as I rolled it through the mouth of their cave gray shop and rested it under the shadow of a truck on the lift, where I left it to the care of these 2 mechanics, shamans garbed in grease and denim, already musky with day's demands. As I, the uninitiated, stood aside, these officiants spoke in a language of mostly silence and ritual, reaching for tools made for heavier work, opening its chest to read the dark bones, a mystery of anointments with oil-dark hands. Having finished what the rites of steel and spark require, the incense of their labors and acrid heft in the air, they returned the child to my soft, clean hands and commanded me to pull, a nerve stretched taut with the mystery of its waking. With a hot breath cry that pulsed in my skin, this child roared with the voice of something reborn, some resurrected thing that remembers its death and knows it must return to the long, green work of living. About a year ago, I learned about the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. I don't know how many of you have heard of it, but when I first learned of it, I found it to be utterly bizarre and delightful and kind of terrifying, at least at the prospect that such a thing would be needed. And I won't tell you much about what it is. The poem does an okay job of that by itself. This poem is titled A Tomato Sandwich for the End Times. And it opens with a quote from croptrust.org, their entry on the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, which reads, "It will secure for centuries millions of seeds representing every important crop variety available in the world today. It is the final backup." End quote. When the world ends, as the prophets of science, scripture, and pop culture have foretold, you should hope to find yourself on Svalbard, north of the Norwegian mainland, a frozen island where the world is wide enough to seem new. Under the blue frost crust, you will find an embryonic Eden on ice, a cavernous vault of metal and stone where all our seeds are kept. By our, I mean us, all of us, all the seeds, over 150,000 varieties of wheat alone, some high in protein, others tolerant to heat, each species and subspecies at sub-zero temperatures, so that when the end times come, call it Ragnarok, you're in Norway after all, you might still have your bread. And in this apocalypse-ready icebox, every tomato you know and dozens more you don't, determinate and indeterminate, grapes and cherries, Cherokee purples, the aptly named Arctic rose, enough heirlooms for every family tree lost to flame. To prove you were meant for this era, you'll have to make your sandwich yourself. Sharpen a bone-handle knife on a spit-wetted stone, then slice your bread and tomato of choice. Without eggs and oil, you'll have to hold the mayo, but the vine-ripened fruit will be sweet enough as you eat alone on a snow mound for one, hope softening against the roof of your mouth. Sometimes a poet will write a poem for someone as a gift or as a comfort in a time of trial, and this is that kind of poem. I wrote this for a student, actually, who just recently experienced a personal tragedy, and I did get her permission to read this evening. This is On the Day You Return to School After Losing Your Mother, for Jade. You said you just needed to talk about the weather, but no one but a few would even look at you. Fearful your grief would chill them, your peers packed themselves in silence, as in the heavy coats they wore against the winter storm that had fallen on the East Coast that week. You and I had spoken earlier that day, but not about the weather. Had we, I would have told you that on the morning news, I learned that in Florida, iguanas are falling from trees. When the temperature falls below 50 degrees, these iguanas freeze and drop from their branches like overripe fruit, to rest as still and twisted as driftwood in the sand. I also learned, before the story's end, that should you encounter one of these fallen lizards, you should treat it as though it were alive. It may wake when the weather improves, and when chilled blood warms, return to its perch. I do not know if this survivor will remember the cold, but I do know, as well as you, that its frost-scarred skin will shed away, fresh scales breathing, as lustrous as a summer fern. Had we talked about the weather that day, I would have told you all of this. And before you left that afternoon, when the wind chill was well below 50 degrees, I would have also told you, as I usually do, to stay warm out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I will say something. Ben Cutler and some other of our faculty get involved in a wonderful program called Narrative 4. I think 10 students from the high school dorm A, didn't you also do that? I can't see, but traveled to a school in New York City and spent a few days back in October. Those same students will be coming here in April, and we're planning a weekend of events that will include authors, poetry, perhaps some music. Look for more about that, but that's a wonderful program that Ben is leading our students in. So thank you for the work you're doing with that, Ben. I do want to let you know about a few upcoming events we have here at the Swain Arts Center. We started something new this year. On the fourth Wednesday of every month, we're doing a free classic movie showing. This is a Joe Holt's idea. We watched Citizen Kane. Last month, we watched Lawrence of Arabia. This month, the movie is King Kong, the original 1933 version. It's free of charge. We'll have popcorn and drinks available. And I'll just say this, I'll break my cardinal rule of no food and drinks in the Art Center, but you can't have a movie without popcorn. So any students who are here, come, you can bring food in here. It'll be the one time I don't ask you politely to please take it back out. So that'll be on February the 28th at 7:00 p.m., King Kong. March is always an important month here with our arts, the spring musical. This year, the spring musical is high school musical, and our vocal ensemble and band and carpentry classes and art classes will all be collaborating to put that together the last 2 weekends in March. So look for information about that as well. On March the 3rd, we're going to have an art workshop here, an all-day thing, splashy watercolor waterfalls. You do not have to have previous art experience to do this. Carol Conti, who's a local artist, will be leading that. And one final thing we have coming up on May the 1st, the Smoky Mountain Brass Quintet will be here doing a community concert. They'll be playing for some of our students that day, but also presenting a community concert that evening. I hope you will join us. SwainArtCenter.com is a new website we have. Please check that regularly. Lots of things coming up, and you can read about them there. We now welcome Kim Holt back to the stage. She will be doing a veil dance, and this is Kim's first ever solo dance. She'll be doing it to the music Tightrope from the popular musical The Greatest Showman. So let's welcome Kim Holt.
For a life that is simple and planned, tied with a ribbon. Some people won't sail the sea, 'cause they're safer on land. To follow what's written, but I'd follow you to the great unknown of two worlds we call our own. Hand in my hand, and we promise to never let go. We're walking a tightrope, high in the sky. We can see the whole world down below. We're walking a tightrope, never sure, never know how far we could fall. But it's all an adventure that comes with a breathtaking view. Walking a tightrope with you. Oh, 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 oh. With you. Oh, 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 oh. With you. Mountains and valleys and all that will come in between. Desert and ocean, you pull me in, and together we're lost breathtaking view. Walking a tightrope with you. Ooh, 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 ooh. With you.
I want to say thank you to a few folks tonight. First, in the sound booth, Jay Gilbert and Colin Edwards, who have operated sound and light for us. Thank you to you for doing that. Let's give them a hand. Also, our stage managers, Alex Parker, Madison Dixon, and Maddie Miller. Thank you backstage for handling all that for us. I will say we have an advisory board. I think we have some of our advisory board members here tonight. If you will stand so we can say thank you. I know Dawn is here, Rachel. Yes, thank you all for coming. Our advisory board meets on a regular basis every other month, the entire board. Then we have a number of committees who work on marketing, programming, fundraising, and board development. We are always looking for volunteers. This is a wonderful facility here, and we're thinking about ways to expand what we do into the community, and we're going to need volunteers to do that. So if you are interested in getting more involved in what we're doing here at the Swain Arts Center, please see me or Dawn or Rachel. Would be happy to talk to you about it. Our last group tonight, Somebody's Child. Ashley Claxton and Coley Williamson, both natives of Bryson City, both graduates of Bryson City High School. Not Bryson City, where'd that come from? Swain County High School. Ashley has been an exceptional children's teacher at East Elementary for 5 years. Coley teaches 8th grade social studies at Swain Middle School. He's worked with the school system for 2 years. They both are graduates of Western Carolina University. Ashley earned a bachelor degree in sociology. Coley has a bachelor's degree in Spanish education. Ashley has had a passion for music and storytelling all of her life. She's been very influenced by the connections that she's made to other people through music. She credits her mentors, Jay Gilbert again, who I didn't mention. You notice the stage is named after him. So thank you to Jay for all you've done for the arts here. But Jay has been a mentor for Ashley, also her grandfather, and she credits Coley for being an influence as well. Coley has said that music is innate for him. It just makes sense to him. And his mentors and influences have been his father, the Beatles, and Nirvana. Quite a collection there. They will be singing 2 original songs tonight, Your Song and Country Blues. Join me as we welcome Ashley and Coley, Somebody's Child. Check, 1, 2, there we go.
Check. Wanted a song. Well, I hope you're satisfied.
You needed a lover who never would lie.
Yeah, that was impossible. Like you,
the effects of your loving got me down and blue.
Just one more bottle, and I think I'll be alright.
Well, who are you kidding? I just need you by my side.
Can you hear me talking? Well, I'm having crazy dreams, yeah.
'Cause the face of my beauty isn't really what it seems. No.
You told me you loved me, but there was no proof in the lies that you fed me. You'll never run from the truth.
Well, I gave you my money, my heart, and my soul. If I haven't already, I'm going to lose control.
What am I supposed to be?
What am I supposed to be?
Nothing but a silly fool.
Well, you're some kind of fool.
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me?
There's nothing more that I can do, yeah. The sin of your body and the taste of your lips.
They play like a sad song on the ends of my fingertips.
You can find me drifting on the wrong side of this town, oh.
Just like a wanderer, Lord, who's longing to be found. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
You told me you love me, but there's no proof in the lies that you fed me. You'll never run from the truth.
Well, the hook, line, and sinker you put in my mouth, and the memories of you, well, I'll never get them out. No.
What am I supposed to be?
What am I supposed to be?
Nothing but a silly fool.
Boy, you're some kind of fool.
What do you want from me?
What do you want from me?
There's nothing more that I can do, You wanted a song. Well, I hope you're satisfied.
Thank you so much. I just want to go ahead and say all these other people who were quite fantastic, I might add, are receiving the credit they most rightly deserve. But let's give it up for Rachel Lackey, too. I mean, she's a beast on the piano as well. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. That's one of our new original songs called Your Song. Here's an old one from out of the basement. It's called Country Blues.
Well, I used to take pleasure in the rambling life, consumed with myself and drunk with my lies. What a shame, my mother's not to blame. If I'd only listened to you silently calling my name. If I'd only listened to you silently calling my name. Well, I know that I'm troublesome now and then, but you don't have to worry, girl, you know where I've been in your bed. That's where I live in your head. Well, a life that's worth living is one that keeps me in your bed. Well, a life that's worth living is one that keeps me in your bed.
These streets in a stranger's shoes, in the mystery of love, what have we got to lose? Yeah, in the mystery of love, what have we got to lose? Tell me, baby. Well, if you ever leave me, I'd lay down and die. Be too lonesome to sing with no tears to cry. That's what I do. Hell, I'm a fool for you. Well, you got to believe me, every word that I speak is true. Well, you got to believe me, every word that I speak is true. Shoes in the mystery of love, what have we got to lose? In the mystery of love, what have we got to lose? Tell me, baby.
Well, if you leave me, I lay down and die. Be too lonesome to sing with no tears to cry. That's what I do. Hell, I'm a fool for you. Well, you got to believe me, every word that I speak is true. Well, you got to believe me, every word that I speak is true. Well, you've got to believe me, every word that I speak is true.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashley and Coley. And I'd like to ask everyone else who performed to come up to the stage and let us applaud you one more time. Wonderful, wonderful, talented folks. Thank you so much. Come on out. Yep. This is everybody? This is everybody. All right, let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and tell all of your friends what a wonderful event this was, so when we do it next year, they'll come. So let's go enjoy visual and culinary art out in the lobby.